since I was a jit. Ever since I blew, they all on my. Hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. Say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the. Back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back and then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these four things pull out the vip. Suck, turn up, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here we go. Here we go. 90 Wolf.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Go. Hey, exit.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's 4-2. I got you. I got you, son.
Get it.
Now Jones looking deep for Adams. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Hey, Echo.
On 1st and 10, Gordon. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Gordon drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? and who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day.
Jones now on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring...
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, what made that toss out to the right so successful? Because it looked pretty easy.
A belief in the play, an absolute execution by all 11 on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone took care of their assignment, but the reason they did...
Touchdown, Packers! As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Jones. Throwing on 3rd and long. Looking deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Tackle that time by Jarquiski Tart.
70, Indy.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Niners' 18.
Ready?
To throw on 2nd down. Gordon. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
Ready? 90, roll.
27, check Mike 27. Let's go. Mike 27.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Danny.
Now Jones operating from the gun. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, I-7.
Throwing on 1st down. Gordon, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Gordon, big hold of the 30. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way up to the 35-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Hey, Haywood.
56, Mike 56.
Bam.
Check. Lucky.
Be grip.
On 1st down, Gordon dancing to his left, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. After the penalty, it's Jones. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready. 10 Lobo.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get it.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. Room to run again. They finally do get him down, but we've got penalty flags on the field as well, and they might get 15 more out of this. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Mostert. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
Mike's 56. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Hey, Charlie.
56.
On 1st and 10, Gordon. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it.
To throw again. Gordon. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
You're out.
Check 3. Check 3.
Leo.
Looking to throw. Gordon. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
First down, Packers.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it's up. This is good, and it makes it a 16-10 game now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
Down, 18 Gator.
Looking to throw. Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Gordon. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Set, 8, read. Hey, lock it.
Check 43.
Operating from the gun. Gordon. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver, and that'll make it third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Looking deep for Adams, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And it's taken in at the 9. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Throwing on first down. Gordon. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Gordon. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
I got you, boy.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check, 59.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Ready? 18 Gator. Hey, Zoo.
Here we go.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Gordon. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is good. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Hey, team 6, team 6. Look at me. Go.
On 3rd down, Gordon. He completes this one to Mack. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber.
From the gun, Gordon. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Bravo.
To throw on 3rd down, Gordon. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They run with Breida. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw on 2nd down, Gordon. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back to throw. Gordon Flushed out right. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end right.
Jones now off the bootleg. Forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct. Oh, now Breida loses it, and the Packers pick it up. And he cuts it right into space. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Gordon. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Now Gold for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. This is Breida. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Back now here in Santa Clara. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Still going. They can't stop him. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gordon. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Packers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Gordon. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack.
Hey, Charlie.
On 4th down, Gordon. And this is going to be incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Now it's Breida. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Mostert. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
59's Mike, 59's Mike. Check, 59.
There.
Let him bring it. Watch the safety creep. Mike.
Buzz.
Man, I got you.
Hey, hit it.
Back to throw. Gordon going for the deep ball. He's got a man complete. There he goes left side. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 88 yards. Looking to throw. Gordon. Touchdown, Packers. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdown.
Here's Breida. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Let's go, defense.
Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And now it's 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He can run for it, and he will. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 10-yard line.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator.
Mike 42. You ain't got nothing.
Let's go.
This is Mostert. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right.